Verdammte technische Probleme. Jetzt bin ich auch noch spät dran, weil mein Audio-Interface nicht sofort mit OBS zusammenarbeiten wollte. Was war denn da los? Naja, ist eigentlich auch egal. Wir sind gleich live. Und zwar in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 und 1 und jawohl. Da sind wir auch schon. Hallöchen und herzlich willkommen zum ersten Hardware-Stream, Keynote-Stream seit der RDNA2 Vorstellung von AMD. Und da die CES dieses Jahr digital stattfindet, haben wir wieder das Vergnügen, eine Keynote von AMD zu bekommen und im Anschluss, wie ihr es in den beiden geöffneten Tabs hier sehen könnt, von NVidia. Bin auf jeden Fall gespannt, was da kommt. Ich tippe bei AMD auf ein paar weitere Prozessoren der Ryzen 5000 Serie. Ich tippe insbesondere auf APUs mit Zen 3 Architektur. Ich tippe auf kleinere Radeon 6000 GPUs, so auch im Mobilbereich. Und was NVidia betrifft, tippe ich auch auf kleinere RTX 3000 GPUs sowie eben auch die Mobilserie, die wohl vorgestellt werden soll. Bin gespannt, wie man sich da positioniert, weil die Leistungsaufnahmen der großen Chips sind ja doch ein bisschen hochgegangen mit dieser Generation. Werden wir mal sehen. Ja, in wenigen Minuten ist hier die Premiere des Videos. Es ist wieder eine Premiere, kein richtiger Livestream. Mal gucken, wie lange das Video gehen wird. Mit dieser Premiere ist eben die Frage, denn NVidia wird genau 45 Minuten später die Premiere veranstalten. Und schauen wir mal, was da dabei rauskommt und ob wir da pünktlich nach genau 45 Minuten da einschalten können oder ob es uns da ein bisschen Verzug bringt. Wir werden sehen. Ich bin auf jeden Fall gespannt, was kommt. Ja, der letzte Hardware-Livestream war ja, also die letzten Hardware-Livestreams insgesamt waren ja doch recht interessant. Hat auch jede Menge Spaß gemacht, sich das Ganze anzuschauen und ich musste feststellen, sie wurden auch nachträglich doch noch häufiger angeschaut. Also insofern, ich erhebe meine Tasse Kaffee, die ich mir bereitgestellt habe und harre der Dinge, die da gleich kommen. In 2 Minuten soll Premiere sein. Ja, meine Uhr sagt 3 Minuten. Nun, wie dem auch sei, ja, auf jeden Fall mal gucken, was uns für eine Vorschau auf das Hardware-Jahr geboten wird, weil im Moment ist ja eher die Verfügbarkeit das Problem. Ich bin gespannt, ob man sich dazu äußert, was die Lieferschwierigkeiten quasi sämtlicher Hardware angeht. Es sind ja selbst die Ryzen 3000 Prozessoren im Preis gestiegen und teilweise gar nicht verfügbar. Dementsprechend, ja, mal schauen, ob man dazu einen Ton verliert. Aber ansonsten denke ich, wird es erstmal um einen groben technischen Ausblick auf 2021 gehen. Ich glaube, man wird sich da nicht allzu viel in Verfügbarkeitsthemen verlieren. Vermute ich einfach mal, dass man versucht, sich da ein bisschen, naja, durch das Thema durchzuschweigen. Ist auch nicht ganz einfach im Moment alles, verstehe ich, aber es ist trotzdem sehr schade und ärgerlich für alle, die gern neue Hardware hätten. Schauen wir mal, was kommt. Bin gespannt, ob es pünktlich losgeht. Die 60 Sekunden stehen ja auch schon einen Moment dort. Ja, wir schauen mal, wenn es deutsche Untertitel gibt, mache ich die an, beziehungsweise würde auch englische Untertitel im Zweifel anmachen, ja, damit man ein bisschen verfolgen kann, auch wenn ich gerade rede. Und je nachdem, wer bereit ist, sich da im Chat zu melden und Fragen stellt oder ähnliches, kann man das ein oder andere Thema sicherlich nach den Streams, beziehungsweise nach den Premieren nochmal aufgreifen und darüber reden. Wir werden den Stream nicht ewig machen heute, aber ich möchte mir schon ein bisschen Zeit nehmen. Schauen wir mal, was kommt. Sollte es aber langsam losgehen hier. Ich aktualisiere mal eben. Ich bin da mal so frech. Startet gleich, sagt's. YouTube mal wieder. Kommt sowieso noch der Countdown, den YouTube vor jede Premiere packt. Von daher, wir werden nichts verpassen. Tja, bin gespannt. Und da hat jemand gerade gewaltig in den Chat von AMD gespammt. Nun gut. Na kommt. Na kommt. Also jetzt ist es 17 Uhr nach meiner Uhr. Und kommt, ich will doch nur was über neue Chips wissen. Meine Güte. Ah, da haben wir es. So. Ton ist an, müsste funktionieren. Ich werde aber mal eben hier... Genau, da haben wir dann auch den Ton dazu. Ich mache mal eben für einen kleinen Moment ein bisschen leiser hier, weil die YouTube-Mucke vorher ist immer ganz schön laut. Und wir schauen mal, Untertitel kann ich einschalten, aber Englisch automatisch erzeugt. Na gut, okay. Dann lassen wir die an. Ich hätte mir eigentlich gewünscht, dass wir vielleicht auch deutsche Untertitel bekommen, aber dem ist wohl nicht so. Schade. Dann werden wir dem Englischen folgen müssen. Aber wie gesagt, sollten sich im Chat Fragen ergeben, schreibt ruhig mal rein, sagt mal Hallo. Und wir können gern da auf Fragen nach den Videos noch eingehen. YouTube mit dem blöden Countdown vor den Premieren, ey. Da wünscht man sich, man könnte die Premiere genau 2 Minuten vor der eigentlichen Premiere ansetzen, dass man pünktlich mit der Premiere anfängt und nicht dieser blöde YouTube-Countdown läuft. Finde ich nervig, ehrlich gesagt. Aber gut, die letzten 36, 35 Sekunden kriegen wir auch noch rum. Ich muss mal mein Mikro ein bisschen anders platzieren, ich merke es gerade. Könnte so besser funktionieren und man müsste mich noch verstehen. Zumindest mein Monitoring sagt mir, dass man alles noch gut verstehen kann. Der Pegel passt auch. Also alles in Ordnung, soweit. So, dann machen wir es uns bequem. Ich habe mein Käffchen. Und auf geht's in die Keynote der CES 2021 von AMD. Ja, CES, wissen wir.
Welcome to CES. I'm thrilled to introduce today's keynote speaker, AMD President and Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Lisa Su. She's also was just recognized as Fortune's #2 most powerful business person of the year.
Kriegt man hier vielleicht die Qualität noch ein bisschen hoch? Nö. Mehr als 1080p geht nicht.
And accelerating the growth and trajectory of AMD. Lisa Su has made a name for herself as an industry leader who is pursuing cutting-edge technologies that change the world. AMD products and technologies are helping to redefine the technology industry. We already see that through its work with PCs, where AMD technology has helped people to reimagine the future of education, entertainment, gaming, and work as it continues to push the envelope on performance. And in the cloud, where AMD technology powers some of the most important services from video conferencing to video streaming. It's hard to tour the all-digital CES and not see something that AMD is a part of. From powerful desktops used by content creators to notebooks and Chromebooks that have assisted in the virtual schooling of children everywhere, to your favorite new game consoles. AMD touches so many facets of life-changing technology. Dr. Su is an engineer, technologist, and problem solver at heart who has always been driven to find meaningful solutions to challenges and successfully advancing leading-edge semiconductor and high-performance computing technologies throughout her career. Prior to joining AMD, Dr. Su held technology and business leadership positions at IBM and Freescale Semiconductor, now NXP. I'm excited to welcome Dr. Lisa Su to CES.
Ich wollte ihn jetzt eigentlich erstmal ausreden lassen. Also sehr schöne Ansprache, aber ich finde es manchmal ein kleines bisschen übertrieben. Aber gut, ich meine, er hat nicht Unrecht, ne? Aber ich glaube, die meisten, die sich fürs Thema interessieren, die wissen auch über die Personen ein bisschen Bescheid.
But not on its own. Hardware needs heart.
Gut. Kriegt mal wieder einen schönen Trailer, das habe ich fast schon erwartet.
Software needs soul. When processing power meets brain power, tomorrow comes alive. 1,000 ideas spark inside one mind. The world shrinks. Horizons expand. The speed of progress leaves us breathless. With high-performance computing to lift us, we see more possibilities, new opportunities. We see where the future starts.
Okay, das letzte Mal hatten wir Where Gaming Begins, jetzt haben wir Where the Future Starts. Na gut. Dann zeigt uns mal, wo die Zukunft beginnt. Wobei ich meine, so völlig unerwartet neue Dinge dürften eigentlich gar nicht kommen.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you to Gary and to all of you for joining us today at CES 2021. It's an honor to keynote CES for the second time. I know for most of us, we start every January together, so doing a virtual keynote is certainly different. At CES last year, none of us could have imagined all the things that would happen in 2020 as we navigated the COVID-19 pandemic globally. I know it was a challenging year for everyone, but it was also a year where we experienced firsthand the increasingly important role technology plays in every aspect of our lives. For all of us in the tech industry, although we've had our set of challenges, 2020 was perhaps one of our most productive years. From how we work, to how our kids learned, to our entertainment, to accelerating the pace of our digital transformation, high-performance computing has never been more important in our daily lives or to our future. The world needed us to turbocharge our technology capabilities, and our industry delivered wonderfully in so many different ways. At AMD, our focus has always been to push the envelope on high-performance computing across the cloud, infrastructure, and personal computing. And in 2020, we broadened our focus to ensure we were working with our partners to drive innovation, provide more capability, and meet the new requirements of a digital-first world. I'm most proud of the work we have done with technology applied to solve some of the world's most challenging research problems. A great example of this is the work in the scientific community. Scientists and researchers really pivoted on a dime to pool their resources to rally around research on vaccines, therapeutics, and other important learnings to combat and understand the pandemic. And to help them do this, the AMD COVID-19 HPC Fund donated over 12 petaflops of supercomputing last year to many of the world's leading universities and labs conducting infectious disease research. Let's hear from some of the researchers on their work.
When the pandemic came along, there was a remarkable moment. Almost overnight, it seemed, the researchers that had been working on various other applications changed their research quickly to address COVID more directly.
I've never seen such a universal desire to reach out across disciplines to form these interdisciplinary collaborations to try to do what we can to understand this virus, to understand the COVID-19 disease, and to help overcome the pandemic.
I'm the director of the Quran Institute of Mathematical Sciences.
I'm an associate professor of molecular biosciences.
We run the big computers. We do high-performance computing.
I am a professor in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics.
There's never enough computing available. There's always a huge demand.
That is where
Da hat nicht ganz unrecht, ja.
comes into play. It's going to allow us to take all of this big data and make sense of it.
The hardware will enable scientific breakthroughs because it has been designed specifically to be an AI-capable machine.
The fact that this new platform that's being provided to us by AMD can do this quadrillion calculations per second, really allows to build more sophisticated models.
High-performance computing that can process massive amounts of data.
AI ist auch so ein Buzzword. Eine richtige künstliche Intelligenz haben wir ja eigentlich gar nicht. Das ist am Ende sind es auch nur Algorithmen. Also nur.
We're now not limited anymore by how quickly those machine learning algorithms can run because of how powerful these new GPU clusters are. Jobs that used to take weeks on a supercomputer to run can happen in a matter of hours.
When you're dealing with a pandemic, time is important, and getting solutions and ideas and possible, therapeutics and drugs as soon as you can is of paramount importance.
We have many people across 55 departments, or more than 55 departments in fact, that are doing COVID-related research.
The researchers made these rapid changes in their work, and I think that speaks to the generality of the machine learning methods, but also to the power of the computing. And then AMD came along with this remarkable gift of tremendous additional computing power at just the right time to help us accelerate the research results that leads to real answers.
The industry ability to partner with universities is a real boon to scientific development.
It's a really exciting time to be doing science where the computer is really a part of the experiment, can take us to places we never expected we'd be able to go.
People feel like they're a partner, they're part of something important. They all, drop what they have to do and they go work on this thing. We're all in it together, and that is just something really, really nice to see.
Those researchers truly are inspiring. And you know that what they're learning will not only help in this pandemic, but will actually position us much, much better for the future. Now, when the pandemic hit,
Hoffen wir es, ja.
our lives actually changed, practically overnight, as we went to working, schooling, and sheltering at home. In many businesses, digital transformations that typically would have taken years to complete were adopted in a matter of weeks or months. And while these shifts were challenging on a personal level, the differences were dramatic on the planet. Just take a look at some of the satellite data. This shows the level of harmful emissions in the skies over Europe. Fewer people on the roads meant significantly reduced emissions, improved air quality, and visibly less smog. At the same time, we transitioned to the new normal of working and schooling from home. We've all needed to adapt.
Aber naja, in Deutschland haben wir da noch so unsere Probleme mit, ne?
On our digital infrastructure and made devices like the PC even more essential. So if you take a look at some of the user stats, Zoom users are now approaching 3.5 trillion minutes of meetings per year. Cisco WebEx meeting participants recently hit 600 million per month. And Microsoft Teams is now supporting 115 million daily active users. All of these examples make it clear how over the last year, our relationship with technology has fundamentally changed. The pandemic has elevated technology to become an essential part of how we live, work, play, and communicate. And at the center of all this technology is high-performance computing. That's why I'm very excited today to be joined by leaders from several of the industry's most important companies to share their perspective on the technology trends and products that will define 2021. Together, we'll show you how advances in high-performance computing will once again reset expectations for what's possible across PCs, gaming, and the data center. So with that as an introduction, let's get started with one of our biggest partners and a company that plays a significant role across each of these markets. To talk more about our work together, please welcome Microsoft Chief Product Officer, Panos Panay.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Panos, it's so good to see you. Thank you for joining me today.
You bet.
Boy, I think I've connected with you quite a bit over the past few months on Microsoft Teams, so I feel like I see you in the screen all the time.
We've definitely learned to work together this way, for sure.
So look, it's been an incredible time in the world and, certainly for tech. Microsoft is at the center of that and really empowering people. Can you tell me a little bit about what it's been like for you and the team at Microsoft these last 10 months?
Like many people at Microsoft, they're learning to work differently. And, I feel that certainly. Yesterday I was in a meeting with Satya. My dogs were barking in the background. The garage door opened. And, you're kind of working through it. I think like everybody, we're still adapting, still learning. It takes time. How we connect with each other is changing right now, Lisa, in a huge way. How we work is changing. How we learn is changing. So school, work, even how we're gaming, which is so important to what we do together, and then ultimately we're seeing that, at Microsoft, that PC It's becoming more essential than it's ever been before, but not only as a productivity tool, but as a tool to connect with other humans and people in general, whether it's at school or work. And you see that. You just said it. You know, as we work together, it's super powerful because we can continue to move forward, continue to push the boundaries. And I think between our companies, it's our responsibility to help tech disappear into the background and help people do that connection. Our customers need that right now more than ever. And so we can talk about how folks are kind of working at Microsoft, but then you can see this intensity of usage of our products together. That's really coming to life. How we support that day in and day out matters, but how we look to the future also. And to your point, you know, whether it's the intensity on Teams or Windows or Azure on the back end supporting so much, or just the delight of being able to game on a PC or an Xbox right now, that, you know, you have a whole team at Microsoft, a whole company, if you will, kind of rallying around how to help people stay connected, work, play, and learn, and ultimately being able to partner with AMD has been phenomenal for us.
Well, look, I think, you know, Panos, actually, I think we see it exactly the same way. It's such a special time where we can really use technology to help people do all the things that they need to do, and frankly, it is how we stay connected. So, you know, I'm so proud of the work that we've done together. It's, you know, our partnership is just incredibly broad, and you know, spans all the way from, you know, cloud and data center to, you know, console gaming, and then, you know, to Windows and Surface. It's just been, you know, so great to partner with your team. So can you talk a little bit about some of the co-engineering and what we're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I'd love to. First, let me just say, AMD's momentum right now is incredible. The impact you're having on the world, the work you've done. Let me just say that, like, and truly from the most humblest place. Like, we've been working together, Lisa, for a long time, you and I. But before I get into any of that, we should start right now. When you talk partnerships, we got to start with gaming, don't we? Working on the Xbox Series X and Series S. This work doesn't happen in a silo. This is two teams getting together, getting right down to the depth of what it means to deliver an incredible gaming experience. Now we have this incredibly, the most performant console on the planet, and that's the work we do together. I think some people just think it, you know, sometimes I hear it just happens. No, these are two teams coming together, working in detail. Then take it to the next level, the work you're doing with Azure, the detailed work with AMD and Azure coming together with Epic, delivering for Game Pass and xCloud. Like, these are real depth partnerships. And here's my favorite thing, and the way we work together, and for those of you who don't know, like, you can take that architecture and that thinking that drives the Xbox, the RDNA architecture, if you will, RDNA2, I think, and you just move that into what is the PC. Like, and that's what just, now I get super excited, of course, because you know how much I love Windows, how much I love working on these products.
Klar, du arbeitest bei Microsoft.
And your Radeon product, which has been so incredibly powerful for the PC right now to help gamers push forward, you know, to help the high-performance PC compute happen. And right now, think about customers in this time. You know, we have that intensity of usage. This is even CAD at home or gaming at home, being able to push 64-core computing with Threadripper. You're doing all that with us, but it's really the detailed work of the two teams coming together to bring that to life. But let me also share with you, we created a small video for you, Lisa. I knew what we were coming on today, and I thought, boy, it'd be so fun.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Okay, das war jetzt gerade ein bisschen sehr laut. Bisher ist auch eher alles Rückblick und so, weil das ist jetzt alles keine Neuankündigung. Das wissen wir alles schon. Ja, netter kleiner Clip, aber alles nichts Neues.
Thank you again again for joining us. It was great to see you, and thanks for providing those insights for our audience.
What a blast. Lisa, thank you for having me. I really am grateful, and thank you for this partnership. I think AMD is doing amazing things right now, and your tech is moving this world forward, and we're so grateful for it.
Now let's turn our attention to PCs. In 2020, approximately 300 million notebooks, desktops, and Chromebooks were sold. That's the highest number since 2014. And we expect demand to be even higher in 2021 as the PC continues playing an even larger role in our daily lives. At AMD,
Das ist auch derzeit ein Problem. Der Bedarf wird nicht geringer.
We introduced our first processors powered by our new Zen 3 CPU core. Zen 3 is a new architecture that brings new capabilities to PCs while delivering leadership performance and energy efficiency. The Zen 3 core is a phenomenal example of AMD's dedication to building the best technology. We redesigned the core to deliver our largest generation-over-generation performance increase since we launched the Zen family. Zen 3 increases our lead in overall performance and energy efficiency and also delivers the best single-threaded performance. As a result, the Ryzen 5000 series CPUs are the fastest processors in the world for gamers and creators. Now, we designed Zen 3 to scale from ultra-thin notebooks all the way up to supercomputers. And I'm excited to announce we're starting 2021 by launching the most powerful PC processors ever built for ultra-thin and gaming notebooks.
Okay, da kommen die Mobil-APUs.
Ryzen 5000 series mobile processors powered by our new Zen 3 core. These new chips offer both tremendous performance and long battery life. In fact, AMD is the only company with an 8-core x86 processor for ultra-thins. For many years, the notebook PC market was on an incremental pace. By combining our leadership design capabilities with 7-nanometer process technology, our 4000 series mobile processors launched last year set a new performance trajectory for notebook processors. And we continue that new performance trajectory in 2021 with our Ryzen 5000 series mobile processors. You can expect to do more, to be more productive, and to have more immersive gaming experiences with a notebook powered by our new Ryzen mobile processors. Now, with so many of us working and learning from home in 2020, the performance and capabilities of our home PC actually defined how we worked and how we learned and much of our social interaction. We saw our productivity, our ability to create, and our opportunities to connect limited by the computing power of our PC. And for many of us, we wanted more. Our new AMD Ryzen 5000 series mobile processors for ultra-thin notebooks will be a significant step forward in performance and efficiency.
Da wollten aber letztes Jahr ein paar zu viele Leute ein bisschen mehr, wenn man sich den Markt so anguckt.
For thin and light notebooks. Whether you're running general office productivity applications or more CPU-intensive tasks like video rendering, photo editing, or 3D design, the Ryzen 5000 series actually sets the new bar for leadership performance. Now, the AMD Ryzen 7 5800U is our best ultra-thin notebook processor. It has 8 cores, 16 threads with a boost up to 4.4 gigahertz, and all of this while operating within a 15-watt thermal design that's required for these ultra-thin notebooks. Now, when you take a look at the benchmarks across a large range of applications, it's just very clear that the Ryzen 7 5800U just runs your software faster.
Ja, in vielen Fällen war ja schon die 4000er Generation besser als die Intel-Gegenstücke. Dass sie jetzt nochmal deutlich drüber sind, ist jetzt wenig überraschend.
And this is where the energy efficiency of the Zen 3 core truly shines. We've just done a ton of optimization in this space, and with the Ryzen 5000 series, you can expect up to 17 and a half hours of general use and 21 hours of video playback on a single charge. Now,
das ist schon nicht schlecht. Da haben sie wahrscheinlich noch mal ein bisschen an der Effizienz gerade bei der Videowiedergabe gearbeitet. Ich meine, die war schon gut, aber jetzt scheint es noch mal.
AMD has a rich history in PC gaming and deep ties to the gaming community. Gamers actually want desktop-like performance in the notebook form factor, and that's exactly what we built. Our new HX series mobile processors raise the bar for gaming notebooks. The HX brand actually represents our commitment to build the best processors for gaming. They feature the same Zen 3 cores from our best-in-class Ryzen 5000 desktop processors that deliver leadership frame rates. They're also unlocked for overclocking and have higher thermal ratings for sustained performance, which is key for gaming. Now let me introduce you to our top-of-the-line Ryzen 9 HX processors. The 5900 HX boosts up to 4.6 gigahertz, while the 5980 HX boosts up to 4.8 gigahertz, both with 8 cores and thermal design power of 45 watts or higher. So now let's take a look at the Ryzen 5900 HX in action. What you're looking at here is a very graphics-intensive game, Horizon Zero Dawn, running on our new Ryzen 5900 HX processor. We're running this game at 1080p with the high detail preset to really stress the CPU. And as you can see, our new mobile HX processors are delivering smooth frame rates of over 100 frames per second. And for all of you looking for a mobile 4K experience, I'm happy to report that gaming notebooks featuring our new HX processors are also capable of delivering smooth gaming experiences when running at 4K at high settings. Now turning to some benchmarks versus a competition, whether you're talking about single-threaded performance or overall CPU.
Ja gut, CPU-Leistung, also klar, dass es sehr, sehr gut werden, aber das ist ja nun nicht mit einem integrierten Grafikchip. Mich würde mal interessieren, welche Grafikkarte da mit drin steckt, ob da jetzt noch was kommt.
This year, we expect the number of notebook designs powered by our new generation of Ryzen mobile processors to grow by 50% compared to the Ryzen 4000 series.
Das ist schon mal auch gut.
We expect more than 150 ultra-thin gaming and professional notebooks powered by Ryzen 5000 series to launch this year. This means even more choice for consumers. And you won't have to wait long to get your hands on these new systems with the first.
Es muss auf jeden Fall, was Notebooks mit AMD angeht, von der Ausstattung her noch ein bisschen besser werden, gerade was qualitative Displays angeht und die allgemeine Ausstattungskombination muss da man an manchen Stellen mal noch ein bisschen besser werden und vor allem mehr Auswahl her.
Hi, Enrique. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's great to see you to start the new year together.
Lisa, it's great to see you as well, and congratulations for Keynote in this year in AMD, and also for all the success of AMD.
Well, look, we are so honored to be partnered with HP. HP has really been at the center of Silicon Valley innovation. And during the past year, you and I have talked a lot about, really the charge that you're leading in helping consumers and businesses use technology to transform the way we live, work, and learn. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the trends that you've seen accelerating over the past year?
Sure. I think one of the most important things we have seen during the last months is that PCs have become essential. With people working from home, kids learning from home, playing from home, families entertaining from home, the PC have become really the center of all these processes. And this is driving a new source of innovation, enabling people to do things from their homes, connecting to their offices, really becoming much more efficient. And this is what we all have been working together. And I think we also have learned that it's not only about developing technology. It's about developing technology that everybody can access, because I think we have an obligation as well to make sure that technology doesn't help to divide our current societies. So this is something that we are working together on that I think is very important as well.
Ja, schöner Werbespruch, aber
for us to offer technology to help people in all walks of life. So look, I think the AMD-HP partnership has spanned a really broad reach from commercial PCs to ultra-thin consumer notebooks to gaming and creator PCs. So we just showed everyone the new AMD Ryzen 5000 mobile processors, and we truly appreciate the deep partnership with HP. Can you tell us about some of the designs that you're planning this year?
Yes, and before that, it's probably useful to recap a bit. I still remember the first meeting you and I had when none of us were the CEOs of our companies, where we were thinking and designing the first commercial PCs with AMD. And we have really gone a long way since these very early conversations 6-7 years ago. And I think with the launches this year, we have really shown how much progress we have made, and whether we look at the versatility of the new designs, the security that we have built into the solutions, and the new form factors and the premium designs that we are bringing, clearly we are making a difference, and we are showing what the combination of both companies can bring to the market.
No, you're so right, Enrique. What I really appreciate is that every year the technology gets better, the partnership gets better, and I think our, what we can offer our customers gets better. So, look, it's an incredible time for innovation in the PC market and across tech more broadly. Enrique, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm, really, really thankful for our partnership and look forward to all the great new devices that we'll have out in 2021. Thank you.
Keine Gerätevorstellung? Ah, jetzt.
Now let's turn our attention to gaming.
Oder auch nicht.
Gaming has continued to grow in recent years, and 2020 was another record year. 4 in 5 US consumers have played a video game in the past 6 months. And at $174 billion in annual revenue, the gaming industry is actually larger than the movie and music industries combined.
Gaming ist so abgegangen dieses Jahr, das war irre.
% of the world's population. Now, gaming is at the heart of so much of what we do at AMD. Gamers push us to innovate faster because they always want more. More frames, more pixels, and more immersive experiences. Which is exactly what we delivered with our new CPUs and GPUs and the new generation of game consoles powered by AMD. The hottest products in the world today are the new game consoles from Microsoft and Sony. Panos mentioned our work with Microsoft to build high-performance CPUs and GPUs for the Xbox Series X and Series S. We're also incredibly proud of our deep partnership with Sony to power the new PlayStation 5. All these next-generation consoles use custom AMD SoCs with Ryzen and Radeon technology. Console gaming has never looked better, and AMD is providing the underlying technology pushing 4K gaming across these platforms. Now, for PC gamers, we introduced
wir brauchen nur mehr Output. Wir brauchen mehr Produkte im Markt.
With the Radeon 6900 XT, 6800 XT, and 6800, we have leadership at the high end. The reviews and awards for these products have been fantastic, and we know that millions of gamers are excited about the RX6000 series. Whether you're building your own gaming rig or buying a new gaming PC, we truly have the best for PC gamers. We're working with our partners to drive a record number of premium desktop gaming systems from OEMs and from system builders, featuring our new Radeon RX6000 series graphics cards and our Ryzen 5000 series desktop CPUs. Now, the underlying graphics architecture for all these new PC and console products is AMD RDNA2. With RDNA2, we really exceeded our goals. We doubled the performance from the first generation of RDNA in 2019, and we achieved a 65% performance per watt increase while supporting the full DX12 Ultimate experience for gamers. The team did a great job with this architecture, and you'll see many more products in 2021 with RDNA2. We talked about the importance of gaming notebooks a bit earlier, and we'll be bringing RDNA2 to gaming notebooks next. So let me show you a preview of the RDNA2 graphics architecture in a notebook reference design. What you're looking at here is Dirt 5, another demanding game running at ultra-high settings in 1440p, and what you see is more than 60 frames per second. Just beautiful, smooth gameplay. We're on track to launch the first notebooks with RDNA2 in the first half of the year with our partners. And you'll also see new mainstream RDNA2 desktop graphic card designs in the first half of the year as well. We're very excited to have RDNA2 across the entire spectrum from consoles to desktops to notebooks soon. Now, while console and PC gaming are the most fun for some people, for others, it's gorgeous content and Hollywood films. Today, high-performance computing makes it faster and less expensive to produce amazing movies and TV shows. My next guest has overseen some of the most beloved stories and characters.
Ich finde es schade, dass es sehr, sehr wenige Produktdetails gibt. Vielleicht ist es aber auch einfach zu früh und ich glaube, in der derzeitigen Situation sind sie an vielen Stellen einfach noch nicht so weit.
So, ILM, Lucasfilm, and AMD have worked together now for more than a decade. Yet 2020 is probably one of the most memorable of the years that we've worked together. The demand for content is through the roof. Can you tell us a little bit about how 2020 has changed the way you work?
Absolutely, you're right. Lucasfilm just recently announced 10 new series and feature films, and a lot of studios are doing the same thing. The content creation is through the roof across all of the major content creators. And for ILM in particular, despite all the disruption for 2020, it's been an incredibly busy year. And we're looking out to 2021, and it's going to be even bigger. We built an entirely new studio from scratch in Sydney, Australia, to add to our 4 other studios. We opened a few months before the pandemic really hit, and it was an opportunity for rethinking from the ground up all of our infrastructure to make sure that we're making the best choices possible. One of the most important parts of our infrastructure for what we do is the render farm, really the compute firepower that creates all of the images that you see on screen. And for Sydney, we decided to go exclusively with AMD to build our facility up. And that was something that really empowered that studio to hit the ground running despite all the disruption of 2020.
Wow, Francois, that's just fascinating. I mean, just to think of all of the things that you guys have to think about when you're, producing, the best content in the world. So, you guys were really an early adopter of AMD EPYC and Threadripper. Can you tell us a little bit about how the tech...
Okay, EPYC und Threadripper. Ich habe mich jetzt schon gewundert, komplett AMD.
Scale and flexibility.
Mir würde da noch NVIDIA in den Sinn kommen, weil, sagen wir mal, im Filmbereich sind sie doch noch verbreiteter.
And AMD is really focused on building out the amount of power that you can put in any individual's hands. The amount of threads and cores that you have available is unprecedented. And this really helps us deliver the content that we have. That scale comes into play a whole lot more than it ever has, even for interactive processes, not just the overnight processes, where more and more we're just seeing software take advantage of that sheer amount of threads that are available with AMD processors in a way that software never has before. And so artists are able to make changes and immediately see the results. That gives you more of an intuitive sense of how when you turn the knob, it really affects what you see on screen. That really changes how you approach the creative process.
Francois, you sound like you love cores and threads just as much as I do. So we love that. But you're really pushing the envelope on what technology can do, and it sounds like there are actually things that you can do in your creative pipeline or workflow that you weren't able to do before. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
As artists more and more are having to tackle really high resolution content, high dynamic range, more bit depth, it's just a lot of data to process. And a lot of the codecs, the compression algorithms for the content are becoming more and more elaborate than they have before. And being able to play back at speed 4K content, 8K content, we have rides that are projected on huge screens that are sometimes multiple 16K content. We've never been able to review that before. And that's an area where we're really looking to AMD to help us solve that problem in a cost-effective way that used to be really limited to specialized hardware. And AMD is making that a whole lot more commoditized than it ever has in the past.
That's fantastic. Really, really exciting stuff. I know we're all looking forward to seeing it.
Ja, also ich glaube schon, dass gerade im Filmbereich sehr viele richtig von diesem Aufschwung von AMD profitiert haben. Also das kann ich mir schon sehr gut vorstellen.
We're really proud to be your partner and really look forward to doing much, much more together in the future.
Thank you so much, Lisa. This has been great, and AMD has been an amazing partner through all this.
Let's take a look at some of the great work by Lucasfilm and ILM using high-performance computing.
Gut, lässt mich jetzt ein bisschen kalt, muss ich sagen. Ich bin aber auch nicht unbedingt ein Genre-Fan. Das ist also...
To share more about our work in the PC, workstation, and server markets, let's welcome our great friend, Lenovo Chairman and CEO, Yang Yuanqing. YY, it's great to see you today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for having me here.
I've heard you say Lenovo is focused on building smarter technology for all. Data center, PCs, mobile phones, and smart devices. Can you tell me a little bit about what the Lenovo team experienced in 2020 when it comes to the world's transition to digital first?
Why some people predicted the smartphone would replace PC and tablets before. The work and the study from home trend have proven PC to be an essential productivity tool now. Although this trend was studied by the pandemic, it has now become a new lifestyle. So even after the pandemic, we believe this new lifestyle will stay. And Lenovo is committed to meet
Ich finde es immer wieder erstaunlich, wie emotionslos im asiatischen Raum solche Präsentationen gesprochen werden. Das ist, also da hypt überhaupt nicht, gell. Das ist.
AMD EPYC product line. How do you view our expanding partnership and what we're able to bring to customers in these markets?
We are happy to address different customer needs with a broad portfolio of technologies and solutions we create with AMD. Our leading gaming systems are well recognized by esports enthusiasts. Our yoga products are the perfect blend of style and performance. Our ThinkPad and ThinkBook allows professionals take their productivity home or anywhere. And our workstations continue to generate creative contents and inspire the world.
That's just really fantastic, YY. We're starting a new year together during our digital CES, and I know you often use CES to kick off your most important announcements for the year. So can you tell us about some of the things that you're excited about for 2021?
As part of our smarter technology for all vision, we believe there should also be connectivity for all. We have embedded 5G technology across a number of our products to make sure they can be always on and always connected. But 2020 taught us that what our customers need in the new normal is a breakthrough in a few existing technologies that have become absolutely essential today. We are leveraging advanced technology like artificial intelligence and the latest hardware innovations to drive breakthrough in this space. As a customer-centric company, Lenovo is definitely focused on innovations that makes the biggest impact on customers' lives today and in the future.
That sounds super exciting, YY. Thank you again for joining us today. I'm really looking forward to all the great new AMD-powered products Lenovo has in the works.
Okay. Ja, also ich weiß nicht,
We talked about the impact of high-performance computing in our research, in our work, in education.
Ich weiß nicht, er hat zwar erzählt, dass er sich so toll über die Produkte freut, aber du spürst es diesen Menschen einfach nicht an. Es ist
Very proud to be an official partner to the 7-time champion Mercedes-AMG Formula One racing team. Now let's talk to our superstar driver Lewis Hamilton and team CEO Toto Wolff to find out how the world of high-performance computing and auto racing and esports are coming together. Lewis, how are you? It's so great to see you after such a busy year.
I'm well, thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, look, first, congratulations on your record-tying 7th Formula One Drivers' Championship. Just simply amazing. Toto, thanks for joining us, and congratulations to you as well for winning your 7th Constructors' Championship as a team.
Thank you for having me. I'm pleased to join you. And yeah, it was another good season. We won a 7th Constructor Championship. It was a difficult year with COVID-19, but finally on track, we were successful.
Oh, it's fantastic. I know it was such a grueling year, but you guys were just amazing. And hey, one of the things I know about you is that you love gaming, and AMD loves gaming too. In fact, I heard you might be having some fun in your downtime with your new AMD-powered Sony PlayStation 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually always been. My dad was actually he was always into computers, and when I was younger, when we started racing, he worked on computers for the British Rail, and then he got into his own IT and network support company. So I remember being at home growing up, and my dad taking apart these the PCs, and I remember getting involved and learning how to build computers for him when I started working with him when I was 17. I was always into gaming, and watching the technology advance over the years has been absolutely mind-blowing. And yes, of course, I've been nagging everyone for the PS5 like everyone is, and I finally got it, and I actually carry it around with me. I travel with it everywhere I go, and I have a real gaming monitor, the whole headphones. I'm fully geared up.
I'm just imagining you getting into the zone with your PS5, so that's wonderful. Look, one of the reasons AMD is an official partner to your team is that Formula One is such a great application of high-performance computing technology. Can you just tell me a little bit about your view of the role of technology in racing and how the team depends on partners like our computing technology?
Well, it's incredible when people look at the image next to you of the Formula 1 car. You know, everything is built in-house. Pretty much everything is built in-house. Give or take the tires and maybe brakes, but majority of the stuff is designed in-house and built in-house and designed on CAD machines. We, you know, the technology in terms of the software they use for aero data analysis. We have a real wind tunnel, and then we have a virtual wind tunnel, and the crazy amount of computing power that takes place for that is insane to see, and it's advancing all the time. And from each weekend there's a huge amount of download. I think it's over 500 gigabytes of downloaded data, which gets transferred back to the UK to headquarters, is digested. We're running a huge amount of simulations through the weekends in terms of getting the right setup, strategy. From a driver's point of view, to get ahead, you need to understand the data. That's understanding all the controls. I have over 20 buttons on my steering wheel that have a direct link to how the car behaves. So I'm studying that in the background on computers all the time. And also when we come back into the garage, the car downloads and the data pops up on my screen, and I'm having to push that technology to be faster. The faster we can get that, the faster I can analyze it, and the faster I can get back out there and improve. So it's a huge part and huge asset for us, and I'm super grateful that we have AMD with us.
Oh, it'll be fantastic to watch. We're looking forward to it. So our work with you and the team goes much deeper than seeing the AMD brand on the beautiful W11 car. You know, from the computing needed to design the setup and set up the cars, to the notebooks and desktops that the team uses on track and everywhere in between. Can you talk a little bit about how you're using our technology as a team?
Yes, so it goes much beyond the sticker on the car, like we call it. The marketing and branding benefit is just the icing on the cake. What is really beneficial in our relationship is there's only a few of these partnerships that we have, is the technical collaboration and the advantage that you provide to us. And it's not only hardware like the desktops or the notebooks, it's really ingrained, or it's making its way into our performance departments, be it in the vehicle dynamic group or in aerodynamics into the simulation. We are starting to really integrate AMD products, and that should give us an advantage against our direct competitors.
Well, we'd love to be part of that advantage. And now, Toto, you're responsible for not just the Formula 1 team, but the Formula E team, as well as the esports team. And I know many of our viewers here are very interested in esports. So can you talk a little bit about how you're using technology there?
We have been growing our department around esports from something that was a little bit trial and error a few years ago to a real professional team. And we see the audiences growing massively, and it has become an area of performance, like with the real car. So it's all about simulation, it's about development and the setup of the car. And there, again, without wanting to disclose our competitive advantage, you have been part of our success, and we count on you.
That's super, super cool. Louis and Toto, thank you so much. It's been such an honor to have you join us today. And best of luck in the new season. I'm really looking forward to our partnership continuing and seeing what happens as we go through the year.
Yes, we are really happy and proud to have you on board, and you help us with the competitive edge. And yes, thank you very much for having me.
Now let's turn our attention to one of the most important areas of high-performance computing, the data center, cloud, and supercomputing. During our 2019 CES keynote, we demonstrated the world's first 64-core x86 server processor. Since then, AMD EPYC processors have been adopted by the largest cloud service providers, the fastest supercomputers, and in the heart of the enterprise. In addition to the researchers we heard from earlier using AMD technologies for medical research, our EPYC processors are also being used for research in areas like weather forecasting, climate change, and energy exploration. From AWS to Google to Microsoft, Tencent Cloud, and Oracle, the largest cloud providers have adopted EPYC processors to power their internal infrastructure and services. And that incredible growth in video collaboration I highlighted earlier, those too are powered by AMD EPYC, including services like Microsoft Teams running on Azure. And while each of these customers has unique needs and requirements, they all share one thing in common. They will take as much computing power as they can get, and they all want more. That's why we're so excited about our upcoming 3rd Gen EPYC processors. 3rd Gen EPYC will reset the bar for data center computing. With up to 64 leadership Zen 3 cores, our next generation server processors extend our leadership in performance, total cost of ownership, and security. But today, we wanted to give you the world's first preview of the upcoming processors, codenamed Milan, running WRF, one of the most popular tools used for climate research and weather forecasting. WRF is used in 185 countries, and as you might expect, to simulate something as complex as a weather system, WRF is an extremely demanding application that benefits from more processing power. Let's take a look at the competitive performance of our upcoming Milan processors running a simulation. In this test, we're comparing 2 comparably configured servers running a compute-intensive weather forecast for the continental United States. The system on the right features 2 of our next-generation 32-core Milan processors, and the system on the left features 2 of the highest-end dual-socket processors from our competition. We're taking in a large set of climate data to produce a 6-hour weather forecast, and what you see is that the additional performance of the AMD EPYC processors completes the simulation much, much faster. The 3rd Gen EPYC server completed the forecast 68% faster than the competition. And the speed to complete in this case is very important because if the simulation runs faster, it means scientists improve the accuracy of the forecast by using a larger data set for the model or running more simulations per day. Now just imagine how much more performance you're going to see with 2 64-core Milan processors. We're extremely excited about bringing 3rd Gen EPYC to market and can't wait to show you more when we launch later this quarter. Now it's been so much fun.
Okay, im ersten Quartal.
I'm so thankful for our amazing partners who joined us today. Panos Panay from Microsoft, Enrique Lores
Und kommt noch ein One More Thing.
from Lucasfilm ILM, YY from Lenovo, and Lewis Hamilton and Toto Wolff from Mercedes AMG.
Hashtag Threadripper.
Today, we've seen the power of high-performance computing, from scientific research to education to global business to auto racing to gaming and filmmaking. I hope you're leaving with the same excitement that I have. I'm really proud to be part of this amazing industry, and when we work together across disciplines, the technology that we build can make a huge impact on people's lives. AMD and our partners will continue to push the envelope on high-performance computing in 2021 and the years ahead. Thank you for joining me today, and have a fantastic digital CES experience.
Okay, also bevor wir dann jetzt direkt rübergehen zu NVidia, und wir werden die natürlich von Anfang an schauen, auch wenn die Premiere schon ein paar Minuten läuft. Wir schauen es von Anfang an natürlich. Ich muss aber sagen, insgesamt bin ich ein bisschen von der Keynote enttäuscht. Die der letzten Jahre waren besser. Was mir hier gefehlt hat, war eine richtige Produktankündigung. Also gut, wir hatten die Mobilprozessoren, aber abseits von einigen High-End-Mobilprozessoren mit einer spezifischen Produktbezeichnung war quasi nichts an Ankündigungen dabei. Ich glaube, sie sind einfach noch nicht so weit. Ich denke, das wird sich noch ein bisschen weiter ins Jahr ziehen, gerade weil man auch jetzt die schlechten Erfahrungen mit den Launches gemacht hat, wo eigentlich nichts verfügbar war, beziehungsweise eben man wohl auf allen Seiten, auch ja bei NVidia, die Nachfrage wohl massiv unterschätzt hat. Ich meine, es ist albern anzunehmen, dass man hier von einer künstlichen Verknappung redet oder so, weil es wäre für jedes Unternehmen völlig dämlich, weniger auf den Markt zu werfen, als man verkaufen könnte. Naja, das macht kein Unternehmen, was irgendwie Gewinne erwirtschaften will. Das ist ja völliger Käse. Aber man hört halt immer wieder, dass viele davon reden, ja, künstliche Verknappung und die verarschen uns. Und nee, das macht keiner. Die produzieren und versenden, wie sie können. Es kommt halt nur das an, was ankommt. Und dementsprechend, der Bedarf ist halt enorm. Es ist halt tatsächlich so. So, und jetzt haben wir hier noch eine laufende Premiere, die... wieso in 6 Minuten irgendwas? Na gut, dann lässt sich NVIDIA wohl bis 17 Uhr Zeit. Dann lasse ich euch mal kurz mit diesem RTX Game On Event Countdown allein und bin sofort dann auch wieder für euch da. Okay? So, jetzt schauen wir mal. Ich muss jetzt nur aufpassen. Ja, das weg. Und das Mikro mute ich auch mal eben kurz.
Kinda like complicated. I never know what I'm chasing. No, I don't need someone to save me, but you appear like a lightning bolt. Maybe you're a wizard, 'cause you're busy, busy, busy. There's magic in your rhythm, like a shockwave to my system. Maybe you're a wizard, 'cause you're busy, busy, busy. Magnetic attraction, a supernatural vertigo. It's a chemical reaction, something I never imagined. No, maybe you're a wizard, 'cause you're busy, busy, busy. There's magic in your rhythm, like a shockwave to my system. Maybe you're a wizard, 'cause you're busy, busy, busy.
So, und da bin ich auch schon wieder, pünktlich 3 Minuten vor Beginn des NVIDIA-Streams. Und hallo Felix! So, bin gespannt, was NVIDIA jetzt uns offenbart. Ja, also wie ich ja gerade schon mal gesagt habe, von AMD war ich jetzt fast schon ein bisschen enttäuscht. Ich hatte mir von der CES Keynote ein bisschen mehr versprochen. Ja, es war halt wirklich nur der High-End-Bereich der Ryzen APUs, sowohl für Ultra Mobile als auch High Performance Mobile, als direkte Ankündigung. Ansonsten keine direkten Produkte mit Spezifikationen. Sehr schade. Hätte ich mir ein bisschen mehr gewünscht. Aber es ist zeitig im Jahr und ich glaube, da man auch sagte, die kleineren Radeon 6000 Grafikkarten und die weiteren Ryzen CPUs kommen innerhalb des ersten Halbjahres und nicht im ersten Quartal, wie zum Beispiel die Epic Server CPU. gehe ich mal von aus, man lässt sich jetzt mehr Zeit und guckt, dass man einen besseren Start hinlegt, von der Stückzahl her. Wäre meine Vermutung. Was ich sehr, sehr schade fand, ist, dass man überhaupt nicht mal den kleinsten Ausblick auf einen neuen Threadripper gebracht hat. Ich hätte mir gewünscht, dass man wie sonst bei allen anderen Präsentationen und Keynotes auch hätte Frau Dr. Su gesehen, wie sie am Ende noch dasteht und ach so, ja, one more thing. Ja, dieses eine letzte zum Abschied. Das war man eigentlich jetzt immer gewohnt von AMD. Leider diesmal nicht. Mal gucken, ob es NVidia besser macht und mehr hypen kann. Auf jeden Fall scheint man sich mehr auf Gaming zu konzentrieren, als auf allgemeine Partnerschaften und so weiter. Gut, ich meine, man muss AMD aber auch zugute halten, sie stellen ihre Partner, die sie haben, sehr häufig sehr stark in den Vordergrund. Das machen viele andere Hersteller in dieser Form nicht. Ja, das macht auch NVIDIA nicht so umfassend. Und auch ein Intel macht das nicht so umfassend. Insofern, es war schon ganz sympathisch, aber es war halt ein bisschen zu viel Marketing und ein bisschen zu wenig Technik dieses Jahr, fand ich. Aber gut, es ist die erste digitale CES. Ich glaube, die üben auch alle noch, wie man das am besten auf die Reihe bringt. Schauen wir mal, wie NVIDIA sich schlagen wird. Gleich geht's los. Gucken wir mal, was da kommt. Also Mobil-GPUs und kleinere RTX 3000 würde ich tippen. Achso, und die 3080 Ti natürlich. Ach, wieso sehe ich eigentlich immer wieder überall Minecraft, ey? Sorry, Entschuldigung. Nichts gegen die Minecraft-Spieler, aber ey. Sorry, ist halt einfach nicht meins. So, jetzt haben wir einen ganz tollen RTX-Trailer bekommen.
2020 was an extremely tough year with no end of challenges. Millions of people tuned into gaming to play, create, and connect with one another. Steam saw the number of users increase by 40% over the previous year and more than double since 2018. Discord connected gamers with over 4 billion minutes of conversation and monthly active users reaching 140 million. That's nearly 3 times as many as 2 years ago. Together, we watched over 100 billion hours of gaming content on YouTube. That's twice as much as 2018. And with physical sports largely on the sidelines, esports has attracted legions of new fans. Viewership is nearly 500 million people globally, up 100 million from 2018. With another 150 million viewers expected over the next 3 years. More than ever, gaming has become an integral part of our lives. 2 years ago, we introduced a breakthrough in graphics, real-time ray tracing, and AI-based DLSS. We called it RTX. Together with Microsoft and top developers and game engines, we set off to bring the visual realism of movies to fully interactive gaming. The momentum is unstoppable.
Naja, ganz an Filmen dran seid ihr noch nicht.
Ecosystem are now on board. Ray tracing is the new standard. Last fall, hot out of Jensen's oven, we launched our second generation RTX, the GeForce RTX 30 series, Ampere architecture for gamers, and our biggest generational leap ever. Ampere features dedicated RT cores to accelerate ray tracing. tensor cores for the performance-boosting DLSS, and new streaming multiprocessors, together delivering twice the performance of our prior generation. And our ultimate play is more than just beautiful graphics. We introduced low latency.
Wieso sind wir jetzt eigentlich schon wieder bei zweifacher Performance? Die labern doch schon wieder. Sowas nervt mich. Seid mir nicht böse. Die NVIDIA 3000er GPUs sind verdammt gute Grafikchips, keine Frage. Aber schon wieder von der doppelten Performance zum Vorgänger zu reden, ist doch schon wieder verdammt nochmal einfach nur klar gelogen, weil sie nirgends die doppelte Performance auf der Straße erreichen.
RTX 3060 Ti. Ampere has been our fastest selling architecture ever, selling almost twice as much as our prior generation.
Jetzt wissen wir warum, also wenn das stimmt, dann wissen wir, warum sie immer ausverkauft sind. Wenn sie angeblich doppelt so viel verkauft haben wie die 2000er.
Now allows gamers to play their favorite PC games with RT and DLSS on from almost any device. Windows laptops, Macs, Chromebooks, Android and iOS devices, and TVs, billions in total. GeForce Now connects you to your favorite PC game stores like Steam, Epic, Ubisoft, and GOG, and free-to-play games like Fortnite, Apex, and League of Legends. In all,
ja, aber nur wenn du die passende Internetanbindung hast. Ich habe sie glücklicherweise, aber das gilt ja noch lange nicht für jeden.
80 free-to-play games. With 6 million registered users, supported by our 25 global data centers, we streamed 200 million hours of gameplay in 2020. We hosted exclusive demos for the annual Game Awards show and streamed Cyberpunk 2077 to GFN gamers the day of launch.
Your new life starts now.
RTX technology has set a whole new standard in gaming. From amazing indie games like Pumpkin Jack to the fastest selling PC game of all time, Cyberpunk 2077. In fact, 36 games are now powered by RTX, including the #1 Battle Royale game, the #1 RPG, the #1 MMO, and the #1 best-selling game of all time, Minecraft. And the list continues to grow. DLSS enables the great ray tracing experience in these games by delivering a big performance boost with awesome image quality. Let's take a look.
Okay, ganz viel Marketing. Und zwar ziemlich einfaches.
That support RTX. Call of Duty is the most successful FPS franchise ever. Starting with COD Modern Warfare in 2019.
Interessiert COD wirklich noch so viele Menschen?
To bring ray tracing to the series. Call of Duty Warzone, the franchise's free-to-play battle royale, has over 85 million gamers. Building on our partnership with Activision, Warzone is adopting DLSS. Coming soon, every RTX gamer will see a boost in performance and competitiveness.
Ist eine gute Idee, das in so ein Game zu bringen, ja.
Including the world-famous Final Fantasy and Tomb Raider series. Today, we would like to announce our latest partnership. We are bringing DLSS to Outriders, a brand new IP from Square Enix. Developed by People Can Fly, the creators of Bulletstorm, Outriders is a multiplayer co-op shooter set in an original sci-fi universe.
Welcome to Enoch. Here, if you plan on surviving, you need to rewire your brain for aggression.
Uh-huh.
The scared hide, and the hesitant die. You are neither. You are the aggressor. You are the threat. You are Outriders.
Ha. Nö, ich bestelle jetzt nicht vor.
Horror-themed indie hit grew to become a massive popular franchise.
Und kriegt mal eure Lautstärken zwischen dem Trailer und dem Sprecher in den Griff.
Today we are announcing with developer Steel Wool Studios that the latest chapter, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, will feature RTX ray tracing and DLSS. You can expect a new level of immersion into Freddy's unique and frightening world. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach is coming later this year. Here's a look at game footage our friends at Steel Wool put together for us.
Gregory.
Wieder viel zu laut. Ah, Leute, abmischen.
It's getting late.
Ich muss mir mal einen MIDI-Controller-Mischpult besorgen für solche Zwecke, ey.
And put you to bed.
Mache ich auch bald. Ist halt so, wenn 4 Uhr der Wecker klingelt. Kannst du gar nicht. Ja, genau.
This next game was developed by Shanghai Tai Games, one of the top China developers emerging onto the global stage. Fist, forged in Shadow Torch, is a platformer that was inspired by classics such as Metroid and Castlevania. As an action game, Fist features multiple weapons, numerous combos, upgradable skills, and a classic arcade-style experience. NVidia worked closely with Shanghai Tai Games to bring the game to life with ray tracing and DLSS.
Target 41, fair, illegal possession of ordnance. Arrest.
What? Okay, die war mal flauschig. Das Häschen willst du nicht als Haustier.
Esports has become the preferred sport for tens of millions of gamers. 75% of GeForce gamers play competitive games like Fortnite, Valorant, and Apex Legends. And 99% of esports pros are competing on GeForce. So we developed NVIDIA Reflex to help gamers get their best system latency from mouse click to display. Reflex has been a big hit among developers and gamers. Since the introduction in September, a dozen games have added support. Today, we are excited to announce that Rainbow Six Siege and Overwatch are adopting NVIDIA Reflex. Now, 7 of the top 10 competitive shooters support the technology. We also wanted to give gamers a way to accurately measure system latency. In September, we announced 4 360Hz G-Sync esports displays that feature an innovative tool, the Reflex Latency Analyzer. The Latency Analyzer is to an esports gamer what a heart rate monitor is to a runner, a critical tool for measuring system health and performance. With hardware built into the display, it measures full click.
Unter System Health verstehe ich aber was anderes.
Today we are announcing 5 new G-Sync gaming monitors from Acer, AOC, and Asus, all featuring Reflex Latency Analyzer. These panels expand the Reflex ecosystem to include 1440p resolution and 34-inch ultra-wide. The heart of the GeForce gaming platform is our family of GPUs, and the 60 class is our most popular. The affordable price point is designed to bring the performance and features of our latest architecture to every gamer. For example, the GTX 1060 was one of our most successful GPUs we ever built. The GTX 1060 delivered a great generational leap in performance. It could power all the latest games at 1080p, 60 frames per second. But new games bring bigger worlds and cinematic graphics that demand more of the GPU. This is evident in the latest sequels to these AAA games, where the GTX 1060 struggles to keep up. For instance, gamers were playing Watch Dogs 2 with high settings at 60 frames per second. But with Watch Dogs Legion, released last October, they only get 24 frames per second. And an even bigger change is underway. Turn on ray tracing, and these games become unplayable on the 1060.
Wie willst du auf einer 1060 Raytracing überhaupt anmachen? Was ist denn das für ein Quatsch?
Perfect time to deliver an RTX for every gamer. Let me introduce the new GeForce RTX 3060, which brings the power of Ampere, our second generation RTX architecture,
Aber wenigstens mal eine Hardware-Ankündigung, danke.
faster performance of the 1060, and 10 times the ray tracing performance.
Ja klar, die 1060 hat keine Echtzeit-Raytracing-Performance.
RTX on at 60 frames per second.
Marketing, können wir es mal mit der 2060 vergleichen, damit sie halbwegs Sinn ergibt? Ach Leute, wieso schießen die sich eigentlich immer mit solchen Kleinigkeiten so blöd in die Füße, oder? Also ich verstehe es nicht. Die Produkte sind ja gut. Die Produkte sind gut, aber das Marketing, die Vergleiche, die NVidia manchmal zieht, da verliere ich die Mütze, wenn sie nicht vom Headset gehalten werden würde. Das glaube ich dir ja auch.
14 shader teraflops, 25 RT teraflops for ray tracing, and 101 tensor teraflops to power DLSS. It has 12 gigabytes of G6 memory and starts at just $329. The RTX 3060 will be available worldwide in late February. Amazing gaming doesn't end at the desktop. Laptops are the fastest growing gaming platform, increasing 7 times in 7 years. There are 50 million gaming laptops, which powered over 14 billion gaming hours last year. And the power of these laptops has inspired gamers to find new ways to play. In console mode, connected to a big screen TV using a controller, or driving an ultra-wide monitor with a keyboard and mouse. These high-performance machines also meet the needs of 45 million creators and everyone working and studying from home. Today we are announcing a new generation of Ampere-powered laptops with second-generation RTX and third-generation Max-Q technologies, delivering twice the power efficiency of previous generations. Nowhere does efficiency matter more than in the extremely power-constrained environment of a modern gaming laptop. So 4 years ago, we introduced Max-Q. Max-Q is a system design approach that delivers high performance in thin and light gaming laptops. It has fundamentally changed how laptops are built. Every aspect, the CPU, GPU, software, PCB design, power delivery, thermals, are optimized for power and performance. Our third-generation Max-Q technologies use AI and new system optimizations to make high-performance gaming laptops faster and better than ever.
AI ist so ein scheiß Buzzword, Alter.
Yet games and creative apps are dynamic, and demands on the system change from frame to frame. Today we are introducing Dynamic Boost 2.0, which for the first time uses AI to shift power between the CPU, GPU, and now GPU memory, determining where it is needed most. The AI networks in Dynamic Boost 2.0 manage power on a per-frame basis, so your laptop is constantly optimizing for maximum performance. The result is a larger performance boost than ever before. We are also introducing Whisper Mode 2.0. delivering a new level of acoustic control for gaming laptops. Whisper mode has been re-engineered from the ground up and is custom built into each laptop at a system level. You pick your desired acoustics, and Whisper Mode 2.0's AI-powered algorithms manage the CPU, GPU, system temperature, and fan speeds to deliver great acoustics at the best possible performance. Next, we are introducing Resizable Bar, which leverages the advanced capabilities of PCI Express to boost gaming performance. Games use GPU memory for textures, shaders, and geometry constantly updating as the player moves through the world. Today, only part of the GPU's memory can be accessed at any one time by the CPU, requiring many memory updates. With Resizable Bar, the game can access the entire GPU memory, allowing for multiple updates at the same time, improving performance. Finally, DLSS is a breakthrough.
Das ist eine gute Sache.
It uses AI and RTX tensor cores to deliver up to 2x the performance in the same power. A GPU needs to calculate almost 4 million pixels for a single 1440p frame. DLSS requires only a fraction of the pixels, which improves efficiency and increases performance. It also delivers more battery life when you are gaming on the go. Max-Q has reinvented the gaming laptop. 4 years ago, the fastest laptops in the world were powered by a GTX 1080, averaged 40 millimeters thick, and weighed over 9 pounds. After 4 years of innovation, Max-Q Gen 3 laptops are half the size, half the weight, and deliver up to 10 times the performance. More gamers are choosing to play on laptops. And with 95% of the installed base below the performance of the latest consoles, it's time to introduce a new generation. The RTX 3060 laptop is faster than anything on the market today, including the $2,500 RTX 2080 Super. It's 30% faster than the PlayStation 5 and delivers 90 frames per second on the latest games at ultra settings 1080p. The RTX 3060 laptops start at just $999. Gamers know that 1440p displays with twice the pixels of 1080p provide the perfect mix of high-fidelity graphics and great performance. Yet they are missing on laptops. For years, we've been working behind the scenes with display manufacturers and OEMs. Now, for the first time, 1440p displays will be widely available. Introducing
Sind sie doch schon eine Weile.
3070 laptop, a 1440p
Auch in Notebooks. Oder irre ich mich?
50% faster than the RTX 2070 and delivers 90 frames per second with ultra settings at 1440p. RTX 3070 laptops start at $1299. Finally, our flagship GeForce RTX 3080 laptop. With up to 16 gigabytes of G6 memory, it is the world's fastest laptop for gamers and creators. It delivers 100 frames per second with RTX on and starts at $1999. Today, nearly 3/4 of laptop gamers play esports. The resulting popularity of high refresh rate laptops continues to grow, doubling this past year. I'm excited to announce that over half of the new 30 series laptops will offer 240 Hz or higher refresh rates. With the performance of our GeForce RTX 3080 laptop GPU, gamers will be able to play at 240 frames per second across top titles like Overwatch, Rainbow Six.
Olli, das ist so nicht ganz richtig. Resizable Bar muss nicht unbedingt vom Spiel unterstützt werden, im Sinne von, dass es irgendwie unbedingt implementiert werden muss. Es kann auch Software und Spiele davon profitieren, die nicht speziell darauf programmiert wurden. Es kann dir aber weitere Vorteile bringen, wenn die Software direkt darauf programmiert ist. Also das ist im Moment so eine Mischung. Aber funktionieren tut's grundsätzlich mal mit jedem Spiel. Na, es ist immer aktiv, es bringt nur eben nicht jedem Spiel Vorteile, weil das Speichermanagement eben nicht mit dem im Hinterkopf geschrieben wurde. Und bei manchen bringt es aber durchaus jetzt schon was, obwohl sie nicht direkt drauf programmiert sind.
Video editors can work with 8K raw footage, use AI to simplify workflows, and reduce encode times by up to 75%. Artists have up to 16 gigabytes of graphics memory to work with huge assets across multiple apps at the same time. RTX accelerated AI will change the way creators work. For example, Adobe Photoshop recently introduced neural filters, which uses AI to quickly make complex edits to photographs. Adobe Premiere Pro Auto Reframe uses AI to convert landscape video to portrait while keeping the action front and center. In DaVinci Resolve 17, the new Magic Mask feature uses AI to speed up mask creation and tracking. NVIDIA Optics AI denoising in Blender cleans up noise on the fly, quickly resolving 3D images.
Da müsste AMD langsam mal mit einer eigenen Lösung auch um die Ecke kommen.
And NVIDIA Omniverse Audio to Face uses AI to animate unrigged 3D characters based solely on an audio source.
A new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
Today, we're introducing over 70 laptops from every OEM, our biggest launch ever. These are the world's fastest laptops that give gamers and creators a huge variety to pick the right device for their needs. Available
Kann man die auch kaufen?
with prices starting at $9.99. Let's take a look at what they can do.
Ich meine, am Laptop habe ich kein Interesse, also, aber war nur mal so eine rein theoretische Frage. Wird man sie wirklich dann schon kaufen können? Ich habe noch ein bisschen Zweifel. Weil ich sehe nämlich genau dieses Verfügbarkeitsdrama als Grund, dass AMD nur sehr wenig spezifische Produkte angekündigt hat.
RTX is the new standard, and the momentum continues to grow. With most of the installed base underpowered for the latest games, we're bringing RTX to every gamer with the GeForce RTX 3060. Finally, as more gamers are choosing laptops, we're launching a new generation of RTX laptops, ready to play the most demanding games. Thanks everyone for tuning in today, and as always, thanks to all of our fans for all their support. And before we go, we've got one more treat for you.
Dieses Mal macht's NVIDIA. Hast schon wieder ein Laptop? Keine 3080 Ti? Ach, kommt schon. Oder trauen Sie sich das jetzt doch noch nicht? Flight Simulator mit Raytracing, alles klar. Ich meine, so ein Motion Seat und alles, das ist schon geil, gell? Aber sehe ich das richtig? Das läuft gerade auf einem Laptop. Na, das wäre ja schon gar nicht so schlecht. Man muss halt gucken, was in der Praxis dann wirklich bei rauskommt. Ne? Ich meine, man hat es beim letzten Mal gesehen und sie haben jetzt wieder mit doppelter Leistung zum Vorgänger auf die Kacke gehauen. Was ja eben nachweislich nicht ganz stimmt. Ja, bis zu 70-75% schneller haben sie ja geschafft, aber nee, verdoppelt haben sie nur auf dem Papier, nicht in der Praxis. Und da finde ich es immer extrem abtörnend, wenn dann solche Marketing-Floskeln geschwungen werden. Und das ist einfach, das türnt mich ab. Das ist halt irgendwie, weiß ich nicht. Ich fange dann an, die Präsentationen und Unternehmen nicht mehr ernst nehmen zu können. Ich weiß, es ist einfach Marketing, ist mir klar. Aber wenigstens so ein kleines bisschen, Leute. So. Ja gut, das war jetzt knapp eine halbe Stunde, hat NVIDIA angekratzt. Das war ein bisschen kürzer. Was mich ein bisschen abgetürnt hat an der Stelle waren jetzt tatsächlich die ganzen Game-Trailer, weil die waren eigentlich nichts so richtig Neues. Tja, schade eigentlich. NVIDIA hat die Mobil-GPUs angekündigt und ansonsten eigentlich nichts weiter. Auch ein bisschen schade. Also, was direkte Produktankündigungen betrifft, halten sich beide ein bisschen zurück. Kann ich mir aber vorstellen, dass das an der Liefersituation liegt. Die müssen sich wahrscheinlich erstmal alle selber ein bisschen sortieren. Kann ich auch ein Stück weit verstehen. Aber ja, es war irgendwie, weiß ich nicht. Also klar, es waren jetzt das erste Mal, dass die CES-Präsentationen digital gemacht werden. Ist sicher auch eine neue Erfahrung für die Unternehmen. Aber im Großen und Ganzen, ich weiß nicht, ich fand die bisherigen aus dem letzten Jahr, die Präsentationen, sowohl Huang aus seiner Küche, als auch die AMD RX6000 Präsentation, auch die Microsoft und Sony Konsolenpräsentationen fand ich insgesamt viel, viel besser als das, was uns hier jetzt gezeigt und präsentiert wurde. Schade. Schade. Ich habe mich drauf gefreut. Wir haben ein paar Hinweise bekommen, was so in nächster Zeit kommt. Wir haben ein paar grobe Zeiträume, aber eben sehr wenig richtig Spezifisches. Schade. Und keiner der beiden Hersteller hat es sich getraut, auch nur kurz die Liefersituation anzusprechen. Finde ich auch bemerkenswert. Nicht, dass ich es erwartet hätte, aber es hätte mich positiv überrascht, wenn einer der beiden sich hingestellt hätte und hätte gesagt, Leute, so sieht's aus, wir versuchen das und das zu erreichen, wir wissen aber nicht, ob es klappt. Wäre ein cooler Move gewesen, aus meiner persönlichen Sicht. Ist marketingtechnisch vielleicht eher ungewohnt, aber für mich persönlich wäre das so ein bisschen, doch sehr nett gewesen, wenn man da wäre abgeholt worden. Naja, dem war leider nicht so. Was habe ich erwartet? Gut, ich bin nicht wirklich enttäuscht, aber ich habe ein kleines bisschen mehr erwartet. Also sind beide ein Stückchen unter meinen Erwartungen geblieben, aber nicht allzu sehr. Und mal sehen, was das Jahr noch bringt. Ich hoffe mal, dass sich in den kommenden 6 Monaten, also im ersten Halbjahr, viele Dinge sortieren werden und es dann insgesamt wieder besser wird auf dem Hardware-Markt und vielleicht noch das ein oder andere Überraschungsprodukt diesen Markt erreicht. Und ja, mit diesen abschließenden Worten aus meiner persönlichen Sicht, weil über Technisches können wir leider nicht viel reden, denn es wurde nicht viel Technisches präsentiert und auch keine absoluten Performance-Werte, die man mal auseinandernehmen könnte oder so. Man hat jetzt wenig zum Diskutieren. Deswegen würde ich sagen, schalte ich mich hier raus. Danke euch fürs Zuschauen. So ein paar Leute haben ja doch ab und zu mal reingeschaltet. Vielen Dank auf jeden Fall. Ich hoffe, ihr bleibt alle gesund. Das ist das Allerwichtigste. Ja, auch jetzt noch Anfang 2021 und auch die nächsten Jahrzehnte und Jahrhunderte. Je nachdem, wie lange wir es machen. Und dann wünsche ich euch bis zum nächsten Mal. Mal gucken, was es dann für ein Livestream wird. Ob es wieder ein Game wird oder vielleicht doch noch ein Hardware-Stream. Ich muss mal schauen, was sich machen lässt. Ich wünsche euch eine gute Zeit. Ich bin jetzt erstmal raus hier. Bis dahin. Haut rein!